Okie dokie. Done a bit of a job with the duct tape in here. So the idea is to just get a vapor barrier there, and I'm thinking it's not going to work real good because as you can see here it's lifted off. I have to go back around it with a rag and push it all back on again. But because it's so freaking wobbly and the corners are just impossible, so I didn't trim all the insulation from the gasket out of the corners, and it just makes it just too complicated a form to get the sticky tape to stick to. But mainly the sticky tape is there to help the cleaning situation later on. So the idea is that we don't put anything in the freezer unless it's bagged. So we don't go putting carcasses in there bleeding, because you just never get the smell out. So we'll go downstairs and have a look at what I've done down there. Hey Bounty! Because I've got the head torch on my head, I can't really put my GoPro on my head. So yeah, we've got quite a bastardized setup here. Put this little guy on a little noose so that he can, when you take him off, he can just sit there and the wire's long enough to reach. This will be the relay junction, so we've got both the cooling fans, the relay and the drive for the relay going through the one join. And I'll tape that up after I do some testing on it. For a on-off switch, I've used a cheapo oscillating fan bloody deal, and because it's a dual pole, dual throw, I think that's what they call them. I've got the 12 volts on the orange with the white stripe, and the 24 volts on the 12 volt array on the blue and white, and the solid orange. So just make sure that solid orange isn't going anywhere it shouldn't be. So that should be a sense line, and it does appear to be going in amongst that stuff, which is our voltage bridge for the sensors that go over to our arduino. And we've got the 12 volts, which will be the solid orange with the green heat shrink on it, be minus 12. The orange with the white stripe will be plus 12, and they're going up into our buck converter, and the 12 volt sense is going into the plus 12 volts there as well. So I've got the relay in there and it's hooked up. I haven't got this plugged into the inverter. The inverter's not switched on, but let's see if we can get a click out of it. So that fan's going. It's going the right direction. I'm pretty sure that relay clicked right at the start. So I'm going to hit the reset button on the Arduino. Now you could hear it click off then. I'll let go. There it goes. So that seems to be working. So I'll switch him off. Oh well, we'll check the other fan first. Hey Bernie! The other fan's working. It's going in the right direction. Smells like duct tape in there. I don't know, my lid doesn't seem as good as it used to, but it has got some big gaps, so I'm going to have to put gaskets on it. It'll be right for now. So, what I'm going to do is bang my head on the door jamb and switch this off. Hear the relay go click. Oh gosh, she's a friggin' obstacle course in here now. Yeah. So I don't know how much you can see behind me because there'd be no light, so it might be a bit of a useless angle. Oh dang! Wow. So inverter over there. Plug into here. Now with these inverters, I've found that they bite you. They're bastards, I think. So when you're switching them on and off, make sure you're not touching the chassis or anything else metal if you can. So we'll just switch him on. It looks like a happy inverter. Now at the moment I've got my battery bank with the five truck batteries in parallel, so that the 12 volt solar array is charging 5 batteries. Now the reason for that is my start batteries went out of balance. I had one reading 11.5 volts and the other one 15, so I think they're stuffed. At least one of them probably is. So I've had them in parallel for about 2 months. So next time I go to start the boat, if it starts fine, we'll see how it goes. I'll put the meter on at the end of the day and see how far out of balance they are. But there's a fair chance it's stuffed. So I'm not sure which way to go there. I would love to change these 3 house batteries out for 140 amp hour AGMs. They are big heavy sons of guns, but that would give me all the power I'd need for probably the next 10 years. But we don't know. These lead acid batteries that you get cheap on Amazon, we don't know how good they are. So that's switched on, powered up. So once I switch this on, we should get that spinning. We'll just keep a listen here. So yeah, that compressor just fired up nice. Start capacitor's working good. So I'm just going to stick this ducted fan back over that hole because that'll get hot, and keep an eye on things. Yeah, we'll leave that open. Doesn't need to be shut. I need to screw this up over here somewhere as well. So toodaloo. Right. Back in the engine room. I haven't actually checked this yet, but that's the readout for the 12 volt solar controller. It's a fairly fancy one, cost a couple $100. So it says that it's converting in between 14 and 17 amps. So when 14 and 16 amps, I suppose, gets down to 13.7, 13.5, oh yeah, whoops, 15.4, 13.9, 15.3, 13.7, so that's me float voltage, 13.6, and that's what it's hovering about. That's my bulk charging voltage, 14.4. So the idea is that you don't have your batteries boiling away. This is a fairly intelligent controller, and what's that say? It just says that the sun's charging the battery and the battery's pretty full. And I think this MMT gauge here is how much current it can put out. So at 13, 14 or 14 amps thereabouts, it's about a quarter away up the scale. So I can do a lot more. so that's good. Could probably run both fridge and freezer off the one thing. So we'll get out of this grubby engine man. We'll have a look in here. So it's only been a few minutes, but it should be pretty obvious what's going on. Yeah. So all the humidity in the air in there has condensed on the evaporator tubes, and I don't know if this is going to give us much of a... I reckon it's 20 degrees down there. We go on the -10 on the evaporator tube. So yeah, we'll give that a few hours and see what this stinks bad. See what happens. Rightio, it's 3:20 now. I'm pretty sure I had the compressor on this thing running at about 10 or 11, so it's been going for 4 or 5 hours. So we'll see what it looks and feels like inside there. Feels cool. I reckon side of the box is -4 degrees, -5 degrees. I don't know if it comes up there, but minus 20 degrees, I suppose. So yeah, -20 degrees on the coils, and -8 and -7 on the sides. So that's a rip snorter. I'm stoked, as I have been for a while. And I just need to get someone to pay me to do this crap, and I'll be able to just keep doing it. I love it. Could be the best job in the world.